Oh dear. London, the capital of England and the United Kingdom, is a 21st century city with history stretching back to Roman times. At its center stands an impressive House of Parliament and the iconic Big Ben clock tower in Westminster Abbey. Across the Thames, as I learned yesterday, it's not the Thames. I got made fun of.
Oh, God.
Rather
he is from Alabama.
Outrageously for calling it the Thames. But, you know, that's just because I've read it how it looks. But I understand it's the Thames. And I am your host, Trace, not Tim's. You can also call me Stunna. Now, here to my right, I do have my analytical crew in Chad and Blair. Guys, we're done with the last match. We're moving on to this one. We're talking about Tainted Minds, and we're talking about Unique Stars.
That indeed, that indeed, that indeed. Now, this right here needs to be the bar for where Tainted Minds have come from their practice in the Katowice, where they were doing the boot camp within Europe. That's all this is. Unique Stars, if they can come out here and they can put a couple of rounds on the board, that's going to be, you know, an unknown factor for a lot of people to look into these guys, to look at their demos, say, oh, this is how they play. It's difficult to do for a couple of reasons. The region doesn't really facilitate a lot of Counter-Strike and a lot of top-tier Counter-Strike by any means. Yeah. And to continue that, they have a stand-in. Another team with a stand-in, who would have thunk? So these guys had visa issues as well, and they did an interview. And I don't know how you would say this guy's alias. It is SHP3X. So let's say it's
Specs.
Like Specs.
Yeah, Specs.
Okay. Let's say it like that. He did an interview where he said having a stand-in makes things trucking difficult. I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, but basically it changes everything was his sentiment.
Chad, what would you say the percentage of teams using a stand-in this day and age in Counter-Strike is?
Too many?
Like at any given time, any tournament.
It's ridiculous.
Let's say a 16-team tournament. How many teams would you say out of the 100% are using a stand-in?
Would you feel something like 20%, Trace?
Are using a stand-in?
I thought we were going to segue into if you head over to the FACEIT website and use the code, you could get 20% off. That's where I thought you were going with that.
We could do that.
How about we were teeing it up?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Head over to faceitmajor.com/giveaway and perhaps win yourself 2 million big FACEIT points. It won't buy you a Fiat and maybe not even buy you breakfast. But the point is, you should head over there and get those giveaways. I think you buy skins with them, right?
Yeah, and you can subscribe with that code -20.
Oh, that was, yeah.
That's what I want to tee up because I thought you were on 20%. 20% off -20. Head over to FACEIT, off your subscription.
Yeah.
You can play some pugs.
Yeah. How about this? Why don't we get away from the full sellout and only go to half sellout? We're going to go back to something a little bit more tainted, something a little dark.
Oh, like my mind.
Tainted Minds. Yes, just like Chad's mind. And when we talk about Tainted Minds, of course, you would be the resident expert on this one, Sponge. So tell me what we need to know about them.
Okay, well, they have Yam leading the way here. Yam obviously used to play with the Renegades. I used to play with them back in my tenure. He's been playing Counter-Strike for as long as me, which is probably coming up on 16 years now.
Did he play Titan or no?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he was part of that team. Yeah, he was definitely there. He was definitely there in ESL1 Cologne 2015. But regardless, Yam has the most experience out of this squad from playing in majors and minors alike. He is the AWP player for the squad. We've got Burn, Are You OK, and Inz, who are probably more of the younger players who have been playing throughout different teams like Chiefs and etc. over the years. And then you look at Offnu and Zuzi, who both played in Winter Fox, who was maybe the second string Australian/New Zealand squad that was over in North America. They tried the Renegades experiment, but that organization was probably not the nicest by any means.
Not the top tier.
No, so it was very difficult for them, and then they've gone back to Australia where now, luckily, there is money starting to get pumped into the scene, and this squad, they have taken a boot camp over in Katowice, Poland, and a lovely house out of there, and have been playing against European teams for the better part of a week. And I can't forget to mention their coach of Ferg. Now, Ferg is from Perth, Western Australia like me, but also a Frenchman. And he played 1.6 in France for a lot of teams that
So with like MS6 and all these guys?
That's really somewhat. He was playing with a player called Genocide, who was probably one of these like up-and-coming stars who was really good. I forget the name of the team. I used to watch the movie all the time, so I'm a bit mad at myself. But he has a lot of experience in Counter-Strike, and he's actually a player who I learnt a lot from as I was coming up through the ranks. So having him as the coach of this Tainted Mind team, he's definitely a mind for Counter-Strike, and I think that they're going to be looking hot.
Against All Authority, perhaps?
Yeah, there was the AAA, there was, I think it was Millennium, or something.
Yeah, AAA.
Yeah.
What was Major there? I think Major 6 or Major.
Yeah, he used to play with some of those guys. I think XP3 as well, who plays over in North America now. Yeah. So yeah, he back in the French 1.6 scene, Ferg was a prevalent name, and he brought a lot of the experience back to Perth, Western Australia.
He was in the French scene, but in Titan, he is the
French star.
Sorry, it didn't really land. But the point is, I thought when you said Ferg, perhaps it was going to be ASAP Ferg, not really who we're talking about. No. But nonetheless, yes, we can begin to talk a little bit more in depth on these two teams. I think it should be nothing like the last game, but I guess there's always a chance, right?
There is always a chance for messy Counter-Strike, right? Like, the thing is, it is a best of one. If you lose the pistol round, you lose the first gun round, you're already 5 or 6 rounds in the hole. That's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles.
The thing with Tainted Minds are, I completely agree with you that they are getting into this tournament as one of the, well, not the absolute favorites like Renegades or
Top 3,
or
top 4.
Tyloo last night, but they are pretty solid indeed. And but then again, right, they do tend to have these moments, despite having the experience and whatnot going for them. There are moments where they have kind of fallen short here and there, but we can probably get more detailed on that in a bit.
We got just a little bit more on the Tainted Minds, but perhaps we flip the script now and talk about the Israelis over in Unique Stars. Now, I think this is a really cool story right from the get-go. You never really hear too much about the region itself in sort of prominence when it comes to CSGO, when it comes to this high-level, even esports, I think across the entirety. But, you know, what do we know and what can we say about this team?
Yeah, so the thing with Israeli Counter-Strike scene is it's very unfortunate, right? If you talk about Middle East, like we have players like Isa and Woksik. Woksik's kind of almost Turkish, so it's easier for him. Like I think Isa's the only player from Jordan, which is the part of the Middle East where... Trust me on this, there are quite a few talented players there. The problem is, it's kind of like the middle of nowhere where they don't really ping well to EU, they don't ping well to the rest of Asia, so they're kind of like a no man's land. And on top of that, you talk about Israel because due to the political scenario that we are in the world right now, I'm not going to touch upon that, but they're not allowed to play in many tournaments in the region. So they don't have any opportunities to play in.
It sounds like they're very hamstrung in that regard. Hamstrung. Hamstrung. I'm going to put on my proper English and we dance in our pants while we listen to trance. That's how they speak. That's the Brits. But this is the Israeli team right here on your screen. And been seeing these guys walking around the hotel. Very happy to be here. Lots of smiles from these guys. But it's going to be telling early to see what type of Counter-Strike they present. Everybody can point and click. It's whether they can play cohesively as a unit.
They actually, here's the thing, I've seen only a few demos when they played ISF where the Core 3 were there back then, and they actually used to, I actually enjoyed watching them, to be very honest, right? It wasn't, it's actually not that Asian, so to speak. It's not that free-flowing. It's not that crazy aim duels and whatnot. It's more of a, there is a semblance of a structure. It actually took a while, you know, like a boot camp for like a month or so preparing for this event, and which is why it's so gutting for them that one of their players, Hydra, is a second entry and also a rifle player. He wasn't able to make it because of visa issues. They have a stand-in coming in. So I'm actually expecting to see something special from these guys. They actually took a map of MVP PK on land last year. They dismantled this Thai team called Myth, who some of their players are actually in Signature and whatnot. So I like how Hydra is invisible at the moment.
Because he's not here.
Oh.
That's how invisible he really is. I believe is it Ponkt? Is that how you say it?
It is Ponkt. That's correct.
Yeah, I've been working on a pronunciation all evening, but I think with this squad, the problem is if you are more of a tactical unit and you're based off of more of cohesion, chemistry, etc., and you have someone pulled out of that unit and they are quite integral to strategies, that can be a big issue, and it can be hard to then play that more free-flowing style of Counter-Strike where you are just based off fundamentals and trading. At this level, these teams are going to have one move. That move is going to be, oh, we've got our baseline of strategy. The evolution of how they adapt on the fly is not going to be there for a team like Unique Stars. Whereas the likes of Tainted Minds, it should be more so. They have the experience. I think they're going to be a relatively aggressive team based on playing with Yam in the past. They do have players who can facilitate that play style. And in this kind of matchup, unless Unique Stars can adapt on the fly if things aren't working, this should be a blowout. Now, we said the first game was going to be a blowout with Tyloo.
No, you guys said that. I think I predicted that it was going to be close.
Do you want to watch the demo? Or?
No, maybe we don't go back and watch them.
I think we can bring up the VOD.
I really think it's time and time again with teams like Unique Stars, we can talk about exposure and what they do have. Like you talk about the region, Australian Counter-Strike or the Oceanic region is definitely on the up and up. And where it is, I believe it's just in the grassroots right now, the very beginning here for a team like in Israel, so to say.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I think like there's a lot of parts of the world which still like this, right?
Yeah.
You think how many times have we ever seen an Israeli team at a minor or an event of this scale? Probably never. Right?
I've never.
But then you can think of a lot of other countries and regions where that's still the same case. Okay, maybe we look towards the whole continent of Africa, where the only team we see coming out of there is Bravado, right?
Yeah.
There's so much of the world that is untouched in Counter-Strike yet that I'm sure that there's talents out there that are playing and still need to be nurtured.
And for the longest of times, look at South America, right? Like we thought the Brazilian, the Brazilian cis was kind of dead for quite a while, and then we saw these guys come out. This guy called Fallen and his bunch of young guys, and everyone's like, they're not going to really go far. They might reach a playoffs as a major, and then we all saw what happened after that, and that led to the renaissance of Brazilian Counter-Strike. So anything can happen, and I think this is going to be A very big opportunity. Agreed. They are underdogs, but if they can put up a good showing, if they can at least take a few rounds from Tainted Minds, make it look a little competitive, I think they're going to be pretty happy with that.
How about this? Nerds and Yam. Okay, now we can talk about them in a head-to-head comparison. A head-to-head fashion is exactly what we're going to do. We talked about the veterancy that Yam could probably bring to the Tainted Minds if he's not doing so already. Now, Nerds, really the X factor. And, of course, again, we can look at the stats, but I think the sentiment there would be like, okay, so who have Unique Stars played versus who have Tainted Minds?
Well, Nerds has 7 games on record, while Yam has 35. And once more, the level of opponent, there's a stark contrast. Blair touched on it earlier. The Australian team right now, there's probably 4 teams. We don't really include Renegades as part and parcel of that because
it's
they're
Greyhounds,
yes.
Tainted Minds, Order,
and Chiefs.
And Chiefs they've been kind of slipping a little bit lately,
but they don't count because they're full of backband players.
That's also there.
So they can't really ever come to minors.
Yeah, that's also there. It's unfortunate.
That's what happens when you cheat.
Free them.
If you cheat, you will be caught and you will be punished accordingly.
And you're going to go for a holiday and go waterboarding.
Maybe even take you waterboarding in Guantanamo. We don't know. We do have one team in the huddle, one team getting warmed up, and both teams having completed the veto. And we're going to try to see where this one falls. And again, it is a best of 1. So already out of the gate, we see Train. We see Mirage Band.
I think it's probably going to be something like a Cash or maybe even an Inferno again. I don't think we should be looking for anything too strategical. That's where you get complicated if you're Tainted Minds. You have the depth of map pool. You should be able to cover these guys skill-wise individually. It's just the game plan you have to watch out for. And I think just knowing Yam and the playstyle that he likes to roll with, a more free-flowing map, one where it can be a little bit more aggressive, would definitely lend towards his strengths.
I'm a little surprised at the fact that Tainted Minds have banned out Cash.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
It's a map that they're very comfortable with. Or maybe they could be like, it's a map where a Puggiest style could make it 50-50. So I also kind of like what they're doing here. Yeah.
It's Dust 2 calling it now.
Calling it?
Calling it.
Inferno.
I think it'd be safer for Tainted Minds if they went towards Inferno.
Yeah.
Just because Dust 2 can get out of hand. And if you do think that you're the better team, then you start force buying a lot, and that's kind of what we saw out of Tai Lu earlier in their matchup. So as the last ban is coming and it's being sent by the carrier pigeon, it's hopefully going to land. It will be Inferno again.
You know what I do like, though, and I can hear them on the other side of the wall here, is these guys are freaking fired up this morning. And I think we needed that.
Oh, we needed that?
Maybe
we can get fired up. I ripped my shirt open today. I'm fired up. We're going to flip the table?
Yeah.
Let's not do that. I don't want to pay for the set.
We're not going to flip the table, but we are going to flip the page. We're going to go ahead and give it over to the commentary duo known as James and Dan. That's right. The guys are ready to put us in the server. Take it away, fellas.
Thank you very much. I don't know. This is interesting. This is cool to see some of the Aussies and obviously New Zealandish players. I don't know what New Zealand-ish means.
New Zealandish players.
I don't know what that means.
Oceanic players.
Oceanic players. There we go. So, I mean, off New Zeus, we used to cast them all the time back when we had like this Oceanic League.
Yeah, man, it was fun.
We gave up.
I gave up Sunday football.
Yeah.
For these guys.
And it was a really interesting experience. And off New Zeus, Yam, just such pillars of that, that community. So it can be really fun to see them back in action here. And Unique Stars, they're getting to a lot of treats, these miners. And Tainted Minds are going to take their little treats up to middle. The Glocks training all the way onto the A sites. Nerds is looking to defend here. And he will only get 1, or 2 actually. I don't know how the second one happened there.
Down goes the bomb.
Le bomb.
All right then. Let's see what these CTs can do about this. Nice to see some teams from different regions. Anakez won't do anything in this round. It's down to Ponkt and SHP. Now it's down to Ponkt 1 versus 2. Won't get anything done. We're trying to figure out how to pronounce SHP 3x. Paolo suggested SHP 3 times. Which sounds cool if that's like a... It would sound cool if you're a rapper or something. SHP 3 times. But I'll just go with SHP and figure out the rest of it.
Could be Shipex. Technical
pause has been called by Unique Stars. So the first player there, Lanref Nikaki, his name is Inferno. He's one of those backwards people. But I suppose the rest of it is his FACEIT name.
Lanrefni is what he is as on HLTV. I can't speak. Speaking is really hard for me right now.
As I just explained, Dan.
Yeah.
His name is Infernal. backwards. He has a backwards name. My name is Lanref Nagaki.
Is he trying? Is he trying to cutler us?
Someone has a busted microphone or something. I don't know what is the deal. Why things backwards are cool.
Well, I don't know. Like, what do you? Is
I like the little Israeli flags.
So why is his name also backwards on HLTV then?
Because
that's
it's
not how he
just
wants
backwards.
it to be.
What do you mean? What are you talking? What do you mean?
Yeah, no, but you're saying, are you trying to say we're supposed to call him Infernal?
Yes.
When everywhere his name is backwards, including HLTV.
It is. I guess because he's a cool dude, Dan. I guess he's cool.
I just really struggle to get on board sometimes when like players like they put their name as something that's not how they want it, and it's like everywhere. It's like, well, you're just trying to confuse people.
I imagine that some of these guys chose their names at times where they never imagined someone else would say their name, you know. So, like I think my first gamer tag in CS was Zone, and then I made it Megatron because I love me some Megatron.
Yeah, Megatron.
And then after that, it was Toaster, and then it was Captain Toaster. Yeah. I love me some chrome toasters. I have a friend made. He made. I think it's on my Steam profile actually. My Captain Toaster thing as a toaster with a army helmet on.
It's just like Megatron to Toaster that I'm struggling with. So how do you go from Megatron?
I was a big fan of chrome toasters, man.
To Toaster.
And Megatron's firing that chrome, baby. There's a clear connection, Dan.
Oh man. Well, Unique Stars going for a force buy, just Anarquez, who is staying on the USP. Presumably he will be going for that. Oh, they optimized. They chose to go for the smoke grenades, which can be pretty optimal in rounds like this, but Tainted Minds, ooh, using a lot of players here. They will be struggling a little bit on the way in, but they should be okay now. So you're going SHP, not Shipex?
I'm going SHP.
So okay.
We can ask him after. Normally
Yeah.
I go down and ask the players, but Dan and I were having a very difficult game of pool on a dodgy table, and it took too long, unfortunately. So.
Yeah.
But I'll ask him afterwards, after the fact.
It's a good start though from Tainted Minds. I do enjoy how they chose to take it very quickly on their anti-force buy, and they went up through the arch side. We've seen that a few teams have enjoyed that approach, and oh wow, we get the pull stack.
Ooh.
It's been a while since I've seen that. And it's going to be explosive. I think whatever happens, it's going to be entertaining.
I like having two players next to the pillar top mid as CTs, because it protects you from most flashbangs. Go, go, go. Now, Burn has an AK-47, but he's taken a while to leave, but he's still alive, which is fine. But I would abandon ship, especially with those numbers. Leave the MAC-10s to do the job. But he's got the range now, especially with the smoke down. And there it is. Nice to see. It's cool that Ferg is around. He's about.
Yeah.
As the number 6 man here for Unique Stars. I think it was, what was that team we had at DreamHack, a DreamHack League final, when they had, I forget the team name. They have a logo which is like a branch of a tree or something. Remember?
Sprouts? No.
No, it's an oceanic team. Never mind. Never mind. I'm sure Sponge will know. We can ask him later. Anyway, we've got 2 SMGs here for Tainted versus the helmetless Unique Stars. Helmetless, completely. That's a great frag. Perfect timing for Ponkt. And what can ZC really do about it?
Yeah, Tainted Minds forced to make a call here. They have 4 players left. They have a good amount of grenades too, but those SMGs, you do want to. They're okay to lose this round, but what is not okay is getting 0 damage. So really need at least like minimally 2 kills, and then 3 or 4 obviously would be great, if not winning the round entirely. So time to take some positioning on the map, force these CTs back a bit. That Molotov, I'm not sure if it was supposed to be for the cubby. Either way, Nuts will peek out and gets killed. The MAC-10 Offnu is down low, 2 HP for him. And they're going to wrap onto the A sites. There's a miss from Anarquez. Won't miss the second time though. And he will eventually be taken out. So getting in some damage here are Tainted Minds. But I'm not sure if they can get into this site. They don't have any, well, all that much utility left, just a smoke grenade and
the problem with running off top mid is that you can very easily be heard by the players who are on the A site. So there is no mystery to what you are doing. All the information for free. Yam on the way to the B bomb site. SHP and Inferno are not far behind him. So he will get a plant out of this at the very least. 9 HP with the AK. Anything is possible. Where can you expect these players to be coming from? Yeah, you got to be, I mean, I suppose if you feel like there is no better choice, then you can make the run. But if there are players on the site, obviously, they've got the sound cues for days that you're running down mid. So it gives enough warning. But if the numbers are towards the A bomb site, then you still at an advantage. Technically speaking, although the unexpected angle can win a round for the CT on B or Banana. But there we go. There's the first round on the board for Unique Stars. 2 players alive. They retain their AWP, but their money is not spectacular. It wasn't to start with in that previous round. And Tainted Minds have an opportunity now to reset Unique Stars and look to try and aim for like a 7-1 lead.
Yeah, they turned it into a great round, getting the bomb plant and so on. Yam, pretty nuts how he killed the guy on Banana. Ponks, I think it was. And yeah, great opportunity for them. And the AWP comes out. And Arquez can't get his shot to connect, though, and he will get taken out. And they've got to be really cautious now, Unique Stars. They don't just concede Banana, or rather the B site entirely, as Tainted Minds are, well, they have an occupation of the Banana position, and Unique Stars sort of with the panic rotation. Obviously, they've lost 2 players, though, so there are going to be holes in the defense all over the place. It's just up to Tainted Minds to find it, and there's an even bigger one. In's taking control of Pits, spots one more. Doesn't have to fight. He has his teammates coming in now.
This is a massive round for Tainted Minds.
The bomb is going to be lost if they're not careful. Ooh, there it is. Opportunity, but it will be taken away.
Yeah, there's no more help for SHP, and the worst has happened for Unique Stars. The best has happened for Tainted Minds. Sometimes it's okay to lose a round, especially when you're on a T side in such a fashion where now it's easier for them to steal a much larger lead. There is less for Unique Stars to fight with, so sometimes it's good to lose a round in that sense. The 4th spy is here for Unique Stars, so Tainted Minds in a good spot. I think once they lose that round and it's 3-1, you're like, okay, boys, we're gonna make it 7-1 now. That is the goal. Short-term goals, and then you can look at new ones later on. Keep the team focused. So now they look towards, well, I look towards the next 3 rounds. Who knows what they're aiming for?
Yeah, it'd definitely be really difficult if Tainted Minds get a lot out of their T side, which looks like it could be the case. They are having a good time of it so far, and they will find their way into the B site, and it's clean, and the bomb will go down. So not too much Unique Stars can do about it. So a quick 5th round coming in for Tainted Minds, and let's say lose players on the hunt for these saving CTs. They're going to be in pretty good stead, building a huge amount of security. Infernal and Nerds trying to keep hold of what they have into the next rounds, and so far Tainted Minds are making it look quite convincing, but I don't know that it's gonna keep going like that. So, you know, we have to wait until we see some full buys for Unique Stars, see how they start to play those. And get when they get the AWPs out and so on. Ooh, wow. Okay, that was like super optimal spray over the top of the box. Really nice by Nerds. This hurts a lot for Tainted Minds. Oh my goodness, he gets himself another kill with the USP. AK collected. What on earth? They're just running and just donating weaponry. How
many kills did he get though? 4 kills?
I think he got 4 kills. Yeah, he must have gotten 4 kills. They had 4 left.
He made a hell of a lot of money in that round. All things considered.
That's actually a problem.
It's helpful.
That's a problem for Tainted Minds. They should have so much more money here.
Well, they still have Unique Stars on the back foot. Nerds has the AK-47, but that's about it. They can't afford to do anything crazy, Unique Stars, despite those SMG kills. So in that sense, Tainted Minds can build again, and they're still likely to, well, have a great score. And once again, an opportunity will present itself to break the bye of Unique Stars once again, and then who knows what kind of half we will see. So this is Tainted Minds half to dominate at present. That's a good start. Careful with the jump though, only 6 HP, and he's still alive.
Yeah, there was almost an opportunity for Unique Stars to push down Banana really quickly. They saw nothing, had a spot early on it, but they decided to rotate one through CT instead of in the flank. And so, no, it's really, I think, you know, just looking to keep the pressure on the damage. Right now, they can both try to, not try to die, but they can fall on their swords in the effort to remove more money from Tainted Minds. But they look like they're going to survive with 5 here. I don't think SHP is going to really do exactly what we saw from Nerds at the end of the previous rounds. It's been spotted now too. Oh, wow. Very nice. Picks up a kill. That's unexpected and very welcomed by Unique Stars. They are now down 5 rounds, but the AWP can be purchased, and we'll see 1 incendiary on a SHP. So not full on utility, which is a shame. When you have the 5 incendiaries and 5 smokes and the flashes, it gets really interesting as to like your aggressive options. So I imagine we'll see a more passive approach here from Unique Stars.
Granate. Dave defeat calls. This is a must-win round for Unique Stars, and it is a must-have opportunity for Tainted Minds. Break the buy once again. SHP having a look top banana, not seeing anything. Tainted Minds not too concerned with presence towards B bomb, slightly keeping it simple, going for a straight execute towards A. I think it's like a Cloud9-esque play where they jump with a flashbang at the same time, but it hasn't worked out just yet. Inferno taking an upgrade, and there are 4 unanswered frags here. This is perfect for Unique Stars. It's exactly the round they needed. Offnu spotted now, but he's got 2 kills. Ponked trying to reposition, won't be able to do so. So at the very least, it will be made expensive for Unique Stars with $12,000 lost. Some late damage at the end there, but well, let's see. Tainted Minds can still buy, despite the damage done in that round on the save of A. There's still money for Tainted Minds to keep up the pressure. So let's see now which team will stabilize.
Yes, slightly better on utility for Unique Stars as well. And they will still play it passively, lacking all of the incendiaries, which I think really is somewhat required if you want to be aggressive on the CT side. You need some incendiaries, at least towards Banana. Not necessarily towards the apartments, but it does always help. Pretty fast aggression here towards top mid from Tainted Minds. A lot of pressure. Bomb has been dropped in second mid, so they are not necessarily going for it. There's an info play coming in from Unique Stars towards top of Banana, and they're doing some damage here. SHP going down to 11 HP, but he takes down Burner Uok as Zusi also suffers when he goes in for the trade. So now Tainted Minds are in a pretty awful predicament. A 3v5, minute on the clock, 2 smokes left.
Creeping through a smoke on Archer's Offnu. He's got the angles, but he'll surely be heard by Nerds, who can raise the alarm. That 1T is over towards CT Spawn, running out of bullets with the full spray and the flashbang. And now maybe there's a chance for Tainted Minds. Inns has got the bomb, and he's going... Or where is he going? Seems into the apartment. There are still 2 players on the A bomb site, but now that pick comes in towards CT Spawn. He seems to be heading towards B, often looking for CTs to rotate on the wrap. Ponks has a lot to do on his own now.
Always going to see exactly the position of the player there from Banana. Saw the trajectory on the grenade. And he has not moved a muscle. Ponk's looking to punk ins, but he won't get it. And there's a chance now, and with Offnu in CT spawn, that will eliminate the possibility that the CTs will be coming from the A side of the map. So they should work out that it's Banana, but will Offnu be able to get back in time to assist Ins? Looks like he may be able to do so. There's a smoke grenade. They're not going to throw it. Ooh, that was close. Down to 1 HP. And Analkez, the focus is fully on the weakened player Ins. Oh, that's very nice. And Ins finishes it off with 1 HP, no less. What a save from Tainted Mind. I thought they absolutely lost. We're going to lose that round.
That was such a huge peak from Ins on the Banana position. And I thought Ponks had him, but he was slow to react, I think. And sometimes he can be when you're holding an angle for a while.
Wow. That was
down
2v5.
to 1 HP. That's crazy. Was it 2v5?
Yeah.
Damn. That is worrisome for Unique Stars. And now they've chosen to stack the A bomb site 3 on Arch, and If that sends them towards A, they'll have a likely a double peek if the Arch players rotate towards the site and run distraction. So Tainted Minds need to head towards the B bomb site, and they've got Yam having a look with the MP7. Take note, Tyloo. Seeing nothing for the moment. Hugging the wall by the smoke, although the smoke is gone. They've got the executes as well to force people from various positions, and that's a clean take. In's wondering what's going on towards A. Made his way into Boiler.
He smells money.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Although, yeah, it's less than ideal. I mean, with 5 people alive, they're not on B.
Oh!
Kind of exposing yourself to a lot. Even going to the top of mid instead of saying second mid, for example. And now they'll probably go for it. They've got weapons where they can make money. Ponct has the AK, but the rest of them, I mean, look, they're just streaming into the site, and Zusi's here on his own. It seems like they've taken this for granted. Please don't lose this round. Okay, good.
It's just like running up like a pack of rabid animals, just trying to swarm in the Zerg army. All the Zerglings getting in that B-bomb site. My goodness, that was almost a bit disastrous. That's really cool though. It's the stampede of CT players. Scouts on Anarchez. So once again, you know, we've seen too few good buys from our unique stars, which is a shame. But you know, such as it is. Oh, the mid push coming in. It's a big risk, but it might pay off massively. And the bomb spotted at pits, and it has been dropped. 5 versus 3 for the CTs. This has worked out very well. Is there a way that Tainted Minds can somehow work themselves out of this position? They've won a 2v5 before. It's a 3v4 now thanks to Inns.
This is weird though, because yeah, Inns is wide, and Unique Minds are trying to are trying to defend the bomb, which does compromise how they can defend themselves somewhat. And that's why you see Inferno moving back up mid, because they can't just stand in the middle of mid, especially with 3 players alive. SHP moving over towards the B bomb site, and Yam, he sees the bomb and he does wonder. But also these players will think, like, what would I do if I had 4 players alive? Bearing in mind Inns is in second mid, the CTs will know that they don't have second mid safely. So you have partial information. But look how much time they're taking just to get the bomb. 35 seconds remaining, which means by the time they've secured it, they're going to have to charge into one of these 2 sites because they won't have time to clear anything else out. So risks will have to be taken. They do have 2 smokes, Tainted Minds. You can see Ponct is in a boost position. SHP holding a pop flash off of the barrels, which you saw from Tyloo. But Ponct, he jumps off for some reason. He comes out with a flash, actually. So he's playing the timing of the pop flash. And that will absolutely ruin Tainted Minds. Marvelous stuff. Teamwork.
Looking good here for Tainted Minds, although this is a welcome resurgence perhaps for Unique Stars. Unique Stars, it gives them a chance. You're like incepting me there. I thought when I said Unique Stars that it was Unique Minds all of a sudden in my brain. I was like, I've made a mistake. I just had to double check.
I thought I heard you say Unique Minds.
Maybe I did. Maybe I don't know. I definitely have a Unique Mind. And might be Tainted as well.
Legacy was the team with the tree logo thing going.
Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Ethan on Twitter, and everyone else who replied.
So good amount of utility here for Tainted Minds. I'm glad that they did it like this instead of buying weapons and just having their utility, which we've seen happen a bit too much in the last week. And there's lots of options for them to try to run a set piece. But the problem here is that I think this is actually a perfect situation that the CTs are smoking deep banana, because they've got CZs. They can burst that smoke and try to just spam down these players who are on banana, because especially if Unique Stars have rotated one away and they're playing banana solo, the CZs are the perfect weapon to just overwhelm very quickly. So they're going to actually split in. Whoa, okay, this is interesting. Now they will burst through the smoke. They'll get the kill with the AK. And Ponct is left on 1 HP. But look at Offnu go. He's made his way through CT spawn. Just through the blind spot. Absolutely brilliant here. He's going to hear the stepping in the speedway. Got to be really cautious. He must hold on to this position for his teammates.
That's a glorious flashbang. He knows one player's in the smoke. Nurse comes back and somehow wins that duel. Susi hasn't planted a bomb just yet. Maybe waiting on Yam's flank, but there are 2 CTs in construction now. And there will be no angles. Yam won't get there in time. He's miles away. And Zusi's got pressure. But where are these CTs going? They just started charging. No one was planting the bomb. I don't know if they were confused and thought maybe that they had left the B bomb site. But at that point, I don't know. I don't know what you do. I mean, like, there's such little time on the clock that...
Yeah, you've got to wait for the bomb plant. Yeah.
I mean, you're there.
It's actually it was a really awkward spot actually for Tainted Minds, like, because there was a CT near the planter, so and he was about to be forced to plant. But
it's Specs, by the way.
Specs.
Specs.
Okay, so I was closer.
Yeah,
so that's all that counts. who was almost right. Okay, well, Specs is going to be using that UMP to good success, as opposed to bad success. And that's a 3v3 for Tainted Minds early on in the round. And that's pretty good. So, I mean, there's all sorts you can do with this. Over a minute on the clock, you can just, you know, wait it out a little bit, then gather up after you cut the noise and try to push into what you think is going to be the weakest position. And they have 3 smokes, 2 molotovs, a flashbang, full HP pretty much with these AKs. They are heavily favored in this round. And Unique Stars are in a really tough spot, because do you just sit passively and just wait and just, you know, maybe you're wrong about where the Ts are going to go to? Or do you play rotation positions, like, you know, should they put 2 in Arch instead and play retake? Or how do you manage this? Lots of different ways to do it.
Oh, there's a lovely bait setup from Unique Stars. If you look at the pit position, Nertz is facing with a P250, like, oh, look, I'm going to try and defend the pit with my lowly P250. They're like, oh, yeah, we've cleared the pit, man. And then there is Inferno there with the M4 looking to wipe these players out afterwards. I love it. Oh, no, the mollies may ruin everything. Ooh. There's a little space there.
Oh, my God.
And there are 13 seconds. Well, they plant the bomb. One player in the graveyard position, and he's going for the full spray. That will work. Offnu in the reds. Specs is slowly coming up the short position. Offnu's legs will concede his position. Wasn't a good peek from him. Where is Yusi, though?
It's quite a predictable spot, but Zusi, he can always hit the shots, and then doesn't really matter. Looking for the jump across, he gets it, and it's the trade outs from Infernal. And that's a very close round. 4 now on the score for Unique Stars, as Tainted Minds have a bit of a struggle there, but that's okay. They did get the bomb planted as well. Did a lot of damage. The full buy here is going to absolutely suck for Unique Stars. Well, Fellow can drop an AK, but they just won't have that many nades. So that's the unfortunate point, but full CZ's being purchased here by Tainted Minds, and lots of utility. Love to see that. And a single AK. I think this is really cool. I hope we see, you know, a good explosion somewhere with these CZs and utility. And Banana's always a good choice to start things off. They're going to deny control from Unique Stars, or try to, and Unique Stars will fall back into the B bomb site.
Great Molotovs there. We don't get to talk about those setups enough, where 2 players are in the same position but only one is showing. See it every now and then. Anyway, Ponks, is he good for 2? He is, and Specs is trying to clean up the rest of the CT player above him. I don't think he does. But he will get there eventually, or see him at least, but Inz is still on Banana, and that gives some breathing space to Tainted Minds. Anakez is in construction already, slowly advancing. He definitely wants his teammates to catch up. His vision will be obscured now, but there is quite a large gap, so he's able to clear first and second oranges. That is a massive boon for his team moving into the site. Nertz has a Molotov, so it's new box or dark spot. Wherever he throws it, he's going to be correct. Inz moves into the Molotov, in fact, and now he's stuck in the corner. It's going to spread, and he's dead. And there is the round for Unique Stars. Round number 5 for them, giving themselves a fighting chance as they head towards the second half.
Nice that he managed to get a kill before dying.
These guys are pumped.
And Unique Stars onto 5, so they're definitely making a recovery here. These rounds are not coming easily, though, for them. You know, that's the first time they've been able to string any rounds together. So very difficult half. And again, we see, you know, priority on the utility here for Tainted Minds, which is awesome. And the pistols are going to be out, mostly a single AK again. And they will take Banana away using that utility, although the nades will do the damage, eliminating Burn. Are you okay? Some CT smokes to deny the top mid control. With an Arquez posted with the AWP. Oh, I think he's... I'm not sure what happened there. He seemed to... I think he tried to shoot, but...
He was blind, and then he was dead.
Yeah.
Specs in CT spawn. Loses the duel to Inns, who... I feel like he should have won that duel, but it is what it is. 3 versus 4 now. 2 T's in CT spawn, and Ponkt is in a very unusual situation. This may force some aggression from Nertz, who's starting to walk down the mid position, but Inferno is still in the pit. They could still rotate towards the A site, but sometimes you've got to take some guesses. He's on his bike now. Ponkt still holding down his construction position. The bomb is planted. That's a very big duel, and Zusi's lost it. That leaves Yam in a 1 versus 3. He won't last very long with the Deagle. 4 kills for Ponkt in that round. He was put in an extremely tough spot. The only man towards B in construction. 4 kills for him. Round number 6 for Unique Stars.
Yeah, he played that really well. That was so cool. I was just thinking to myself when he's in this 1 versus 4, like 2 players on either side, like how well he played this. And he wins all of his fights. Like he sets up everything really well. He repositions. He shows presence in multiple places, and never looked uncomfortable in what is, as you mentioned, an uncomfortable position. And that's 6 rounds to finish the half with. That's a really good look for Unique Stars if you consider the struggles they had early on and the fact that Tainted Minds are absolutely the favorites going into this. And perhaps now it remains to be seen, but maybe this could be an easier half here for Unique Stars on the T side. I guess it does come down to the pistol. And who wins that?
It would be nice for Counter-Strike to be more accessible to the people in Israel. Politics is for politicians. I just want people to play Counter-Strike. Yan down on Banana. So far, so good for the team on the T side, Unique Stars. Almost like a pop band name. The bomb is still at the bottom of mid, however, which is very interesting, just in case there was a B stack, perhaps. But now the CTs have been able to get very close to the sites indeed. There are no more smokes here for the T side, so they're going to have to frag out to get this bomb planted. There's a minute on the clock. They really need to focus on these frags because they're not in position to plant the bomb. That's something that you need to consider when you take that long to move the bomb into a bomb site. It will work out for them. The score is close, and now we're familiar with most of the Tainted Mind side, but it's down to Unique Stars to show us what they can do here on this T side.
So MP7, 2 UMPs and a MAC-10. That's cool. See how they decide to approach it. 3 smokes from Tainted Minds. They've opted to, otherwise not, it's not really a huge investment. USPs and smokes, CZ and smoke, no Kevlars. So again, enjoying that we have a priority. The priority is with the first buy round as opposed to trying to win a force buy that's unfavorable. And Nertz will get out there with the MP7. He's going to be looking for some information on the site, and information will be found. It's a bit awkward, but eventually the kill will happen, and the round is almost over. Offnu looking to be sneaky, try to get some extra mileage from what he has. Oh, hello. That's going to send Specs back. He doesn't want to give up his weapon. Offnu's being quite a nuisance here. Gets another dink. Very well done. Okay, so 8 rounds for Unique Stars. 1 away from tying things up with Tainted Minds. They got to save.
Offnu with a smoke and a flash.
And an HE as well.
And a HE. Okay.
Just loving the nades.
So what is your plan, Offnu? No one else has spent any money whatsoever.
Mid-rush. Yes.
Ooh. Okay. He gets the kill as well. At least HE will pay for itself. And he has cost Unique Stars a chunk of money. It was a noble attempt. They ran into the Gatling gun, but they took one down with them. It's a goal a ball in the net. 9-9. Yam on the AWP. The rest of the team with utility and M4A4s. Now, the helmet game is incredibly on point for Tainted Minds. If we remember the first buy round from the CT side, there were no helmets whatsoever. Tainted Minds are well equipped in this round, despite having lost the pistol. Same could not be said in the half prior. Offnu will be keeping control of the banana position, which is getting smoked off. Anakez cannot re-peek that corner, but he'll get a kill in mid instead.
Offnu, oh, that's so brave. He hears the running, he just goes in like an assassin, and that's just 2 players there for Unique Stars yet. And it's so early into the round, they've not really had an opportunity to do too much, and this is, you know, Offnu just by the bench, T-spawn. Gets the spot of the players into second mid. Have to be careful. A 2v3 is absolutely winnable. They have a minute on the clock, so got to be really cautious with this. And now Inz is fancying his chances at the back of second mid. But I don't know that he's going to see anything necessarily.
Look at the angle he's holding.
Is he? That is very deep.
So they're basically playing for retake. They're playing it safe now. So he's playing for the retake. And he has enough information to keep his team in situ. He can call for an earlier rotation. So I like to play in reaction to, instead of being on B and maybe or banana and having a 2 versus 1, this makes it a 3 versus 2 should they go in that direction. Smoke on short causes problems for Unique Stars, but the wall bang, he knows his angle's the man. Oh, he's planting for the pit even though he don't know what's there. And that will be crisis averted. Good that he came off the plant and realized what might be. And now Inz has quietly made his way up that short position from his location near T-spawn. How does he get a 1 versus 1 Inz? He's conceded his position now. Here's a Molotov good though. Specs is on fire. He's dead now. He's not expecting a crossfire in the pit. Thinking they'll both be on the sites. He's wrong, and Inferno will give his team the lead. These guys are loving life. It almost feels like they came in expecting to lose, but now, or maybe they're just a hyped team, to be honest. Nice. I don't know. I'll make no assumptions.
Yeah, I mean, this is not an everyday opportunity for them. I'm sure they've worked long and hard to get here, and you know, we don't see too much representation from their region. So, yeah, definitely, it's going to feel like quite a special moment for them. And they are making this very competitive. This is the first time we're really seeing them taking the lead, like actually taking the lead in the game, and they have their favorites, they've got the momentum, they've got economic security, so they're in a great position now. And Ponk's been really good actually. There's been some really cool spots. You know, we're learning about these players as things go, as things progress. And you know, Tainted Minds as well, you know, we can't take it for granted, you know, some of the name value. There's so much undiscovered talent that is, you know, coming up through tournaments like this. Maybe, you know, Unique Stars have something incredible to show us.
Well, first they need to show us an incredible anti-eco round.
Yep.
Because there's a full rotation here, and they've got no map control towards B, but they will head in that direction. I don't know if they hurt these players coming in from the arch position. They've left Specs to entertain. Got to be careful because people are creeping around that smoke. They will soon see that the B bomb site is completely open, and it's fortunate that it is because there's no cover. Now, Specs has 3 HP. I don't know why he's still peeking down mid when he could just go to the site with his team and play the numbers game, and now he's allowed the CTs to pick up an AK-47 for free because he's peeking with 3 HP instead of being near his teammates where they can protect the gun, have better angles, and they're going for a 2-man retake with little to lose. Although they're going pretty slow about it, and that may send off New to save as he's at the front of the site. He seems to be prioritizing damage to Unique Stars who have won every round in this half. Maybe you should save the AK-47 for yourself.
Yeah, that was expensive in the end for Unique Stars, but they did pick up the round, and they continue their dominance. And I wonder what Tainted Minds will do on Banana this round, because Unique Stars have an opportunity. Like, what Unique Stars could do is they could save their utility, because make the assumption that Tainted Minds will use a lot at the start of the rounds, and then they can use theirs after Tainted Minds have used some utility, and then, you know, they will have more. You know, they'll get more money from it because they'll get the position, and the CTs will lose the position. And oh, Yam, he gets a tag. Unfortunate not to get the kill there. Banana is taken in the meantime by Unique Stars. Bomb has been left at the bottom of second middle. And they've lost Ponkt. So that's not good. Tainted Minds, though, it's good for them. Really good start for them. They've done a lot of damage. Inferno and Nurse, it's so weak.
They've got utility for days as well. Let's keep an eye on the smoke grenades here. Inz is throwing a pop flash for Offnu to peek Banana, so he'll see that no one's there. And Inz will make his way towards the A bomb site because there is no lurker at all. Problems from being a man down. 4 on 4. Can Inz get into position in time? Yam having a look, and he can run distraction for Inz in library, but Nurse has made his way through CT, just running with his knife out. This is absolute madness. These guys not shy of a hard rotation with limited info. Now the bomb's been lost in the arch position. Inferno coming from the balcony. Can he see Zusi? No. It's cool that Unique Stars are not shy to make a snap decision, but this time it doesn't go their way.
Yeah, it definitely did not go their way, and now they've got to spend all of the monies. And this is, you know, it comes back a little bit to one of the rounds previous where we saw 2 players sort of just peeking. I think it was, what was it, like a 4v2 after plant or something, and then they're just like peeking and they lose, you know, 2 or 3 AKs when they perhaps could have held on to all of them. And now they're in this spot. They have to spend all the money, and they're facing a pretty hard reset from these CTs. We're once again prioritizing a take of Banana. And, ooh. One thing I've noticed is that Tainted Minds, they do leave a while until they actually go for the deep smoke. They actually keep it open to actually fight. And this time it's actually going to backfire and Offnu will go down. Maybe that's what Unique Stars needed.
That could cause some volatility. Inz now making his way to the library position. They don't know what is going on, though. They didn't know what was going on towards Arch. And they must fear Arch because Unique Stars again. They will turn on a dime. Get those pincer movements. Oh, Inz, that's massive from him. The flashbang from his teammate. Ponkt runs straight into the wall. This is a huge round for Tainted Minds. 1 versus 3. They need to keep 3 guns alive. They do.
And that is a lot of damage. Unique Stars, no money to really offer anything up in the next round. So beautiful defense here from Inz.
That's a crazy 2K. That's crazy.
All the frags. Yeah, it's a really nice deflection of Unique Stars. They're in a lot of trouble now because Tainted Minds, they have a great position to start to generate some momentum here. They got the 2 AKs as well, which is always fantastic.
Nice.
And Unique Stars are going to have to eco once. I think if they do a full eco, you know, they're going to be on $2,400 next round. So they can actually spend a little bit. They can get a couple pistols, maybe a couple smokes, something like that. So that, you know, because there will be, everyone should have at least, you know, 4,500 next round as it stands. So they can get some PT50s and stuff. And we'll see 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs, and a few pistols. Looking to buy in that next round.
Nice bunny hopping from Yam. Specs taken out by Zusi on Banana, exposed in both directions. Unable to spread the jam that time. Offnu in the arch position. And because there we go. You love to see it, you really do. Nurse has an AWP now. Zusi coming up the short position, giving him a 1 versus 1. And Offnu looking to do the same. Does Nurse look to his right? Does he go back to the site? He has 1 versus 1s on a plate, but focusing too much in one direction. That could have been worse for Tainted Minds.
Yeah, they invested almost nothing into that round, and they get so much value. That's really cool. Oh, what a good effort! That's a lot of money, man. That's Nuts. Nuts is definitely enjoying that. He needed the money too. Like Nuts has spent $6,300 in this round. So
money, money, money.
Ooh, the mid push coming in from the CTs. Offnu will lead the charge, and he will meet his fate at the hands of Nuts. Nuts doing a lot of damage now for Unique Stars. Zusi will continue the push though, and he'll cut through them. They're now sort of trapped on Banana, but there's less CTs than there are of them.
This is madness. What the hell's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, it's Tainted Minds. They just will, every round they want Banana, and oh my goodness.
That's info though. That is like fortunate info for Unique Stars. And now Infernal's like, yep, I'm going up mid. Ciao for now. Anakez though has to be careful. He'll get taken down from Banana, but Infernal should know he has an open A bomb site. 1 versus 2. He's got a molly and 2 flashes. I'm sure he'd love a smoke. An open plant. He could be graveyard. He could be pit. He could be library. He could even be balcony with how far the CTs are away. How far away are the CTs? I do English. Both coming up mid. You can see them cut the noise, but they're deploying grenades. Is that a grenade for Arch? It is indeed. But they have no idea where he could be. That's a nice HE. Does he let the first player go? Does he engage him? He engages him. Spots the second one, but he can't get the spray.
Oh, such a big opportunity. 14 health left on Burn. Are you okay? Tainted Minds will secure it though, and like, where is the money actually now? Okay, so it's sketchy for everyone, really. We'll see both teams managing to somehow find a buy together, but this is a really important one, isn't it? It's a 2-for-1 for whoever wins this. And that would put Tainted Minds on 15, of course, and it would put Unique Stars with an even game. So really important rounds. And look at Unique Stars just running up with your knife out. Oh dear, Inz is going to be having that. 3 quick kills for him, and that might be Tainted Minds taking this round now, because the bomb is stuck alone on the banana position, locked off, now just on fire, taken down through the smoke, leaving just Nerds alone against 5, and that's a bit of an ask.
Unique Stars head first in the mincer in this round. It's safe to say the food's gone bad. 14-11 in favour of Tainted Minds. 4 players surviving for them. Perfect round, pretty much. Let's have another look. He's jumping out. Cannot draw his gun in time. I don't know if that's bad timing or lots of assumptions being made, but the gun has to come out earlier so you can shoot.
Yeah, that's what it's there for. Okay, so another round perhaps where they could decide to, I mean, they're not going to go banana, but with how, it always seems like you can find kills there if you are the T's, but obviously Tainted Minds are ready for everything. I mean, that's the game they want to play. They want you to push and fight on banana. That's what they are all about. So it's an opportunity for you, but it's something that they're ready for.
Right then, Unique Stars have a bye. They are 4 rounds behind, despite how some of these recent rounds have looked. This is still doable. However, the last 6 rounds have been won by Tainted Minds. So there is much to do, and momentum is with the Oceanic 5. But can Unique Stars be the smoke monster? Somebody will get that reference, I'm sure. 2 players on banana for the T's, and now we've seen a number of rounds where Tainted Minds have, excuse me, have flashed Offnu in to the position, but Offnu's the one with the flashes. So, well, Inz has 1 flash as well, in fairness. Oh, they're going to go for the retake with the smoke at the top. Specs is in the middle of the smoke, and Inz is going to slowly creep in. This could be a problem. Specs is blind, but he has that gap in the smoke. You will see who first. The spray is there, and Inz is dead.
Specs taking down Inz indeed. And that leaves 1 man on the site. Offnu, he's going to get some assistance. Yam rotates. Paranoid of that B attack. Got to get the reinforcements there, and that's going to leave the A sites also weakened. But where do Unique Stars go? Will there be a flash here for Yam? He's going to hear the deployment of the grenades. Oh, Anarkez on the angle. That's not something you might expect. Now down to Offnu against all of these Unique Stars players. And I don't know that there's too much that can be done now for Tainted Minds. They've lost too much, and indeed they're going to call for the save. AK and M4 and kits and so on and so forth will be held on to, or that will be attempted at least. Ponk's already there, preventing these safe positions. Burn, are you okay? Has nowhere safe to go. He's got a frag to survive.
He is surrounded. Hello. That's a big round. That's a good energetic round for Unique Stars. Very important first frag there from Specs. Should have gone to Specsavers.
No, James, just no. Just why are you doing that?
Come on, man.
That's just not. Come on.
Tainted Minds on the CZ75s for the most part. 4 players. Burn with the Desert Eagle. Desert Eagle 4-5. There'll be aggression in the apartments. Let's see what the anti-eco is like. Unique Stars throwing Molotovs through smoke grenades, but they will charge through that smoke with a flashbang as well. The bomb is leading the charge on Specs. And there is a retake attempt from the CTs with mixed results. And now the bomb is in a smoke. They can retrieve it though, as you can see there. Now the fallen gun should be disposed of, and Nuts is going to pick it up. Perfect. Couldn't throw it over the wall. Oh, it's getting even more awkward. Now there's an AWP and an AK down on Banana, and Nuts is the only person there, and he's got the bomb, so he's not really in the best position to protect these weapons. That is super awkward. Tainted Minds aren't going for it, but Unique Stars have got to feel very worried at present. Do they rotate away from these guns and then have Tainted Minds maybe come at them with an AK and an AWP? They'll have to bank on that. Offnu and Zusi towards A. Offnu in the red. Unique Stars slowly creeping in. Offnu's dead. Zusi, can he get 2? Almost!
Oh, that was close. And Yam can get the AWP and save it now, and they've done a great deal of damage. That said, the damage is not really all that meaningful, and they will have a 4 by next round, so he's going to go for it. And there is a world where Yam can do this. He's got a kit, so he's got time to find engagements, but he's not got any Kevlar, so he has to shoot first, and he's got to connect with the head immediately. That's going to be tough, and he's going to make his way in through the quad side.
I feel like it's too far gone already, really, to go for this. I don't know if he saw the AWP?
He must have. It was at the bottom of Banana. But the thing is, he was going for the round, so...
I understand that, but...
So he didn't want to do it with the AWP.
There's a certain point where you don't have a frag, and you don't have a kit.
He had a kit.
And you could... He had a kit?
Yeah, he had a kit.
Maybe there was one down on short then. I did not see one.
Yeah, he... I think he... I don't know where he got it from, but he had it for a while. Offnu... Oh my god, Offnu he's been so annoying for Unique Stars. 2 quick kills there with the aggression on Banana, and it's something that Tainted Minds have gone to again and again and again. And I really enjoy the fact that we've seen this, because a lot of the Asian teams we watched yesterday, they weren't really going for any Banana control at all. They were sort of giving it up on the CT side, yet we're seeing Tainted Minds here with this this more old school just hammering of that Banana area, taking it away consistently. And that's given them a 5v3 straight away in match point. And look at the line, the diagonal line almost on the minimap of CT players just ready to stand and defend that A-bomb site. What do Unique Stars do? Do they try to retake Banana, or do they go for this?
Waiting for the smoke to go on Arch, but how does he deal with both these angles? Very afraid of somebody coming from the back, as has happened in previous rounds, but Tainted Minds will sit on their advantage. There'll be an elevated peak towards a short position, but often it gets taken down towards long. And then here comes the charge. Still 3 players here, counter flashes from the CTs. You can see Burns in a strong position. Anakids with great timing. Suddenly 3-on-3. Inzo is flanking from top mid, but maybe the plays on the site will be enough. Maybe not. In from short now to trade the frags. Down to the 1 versus 1. Somehow a Molotov from the short position. And he will plant deep. Inferno avoiding the flames. Will he have to line up for the balcony? He spots him, but does not quite hit the mark. And that will be the match for Tainted Minds. 16-13 over Unique Stars on Inferno.
Ooh, that was a close one for Tainted Minds. They were coloured as the favourites, and they had a great start. You know, things looked very smooth. They looked like the better team. But as things progressed, we started to get on that CT side of Unique Stars. They started to pull some rounds together. They got 3 at the end of the first half, and you started to think that they could make it happen, especially with the good start on that second half that they got as well. And I like that we got to see, you know, a lot of rounds between these 2 teams. You know, we got you know, more information. We saw, you know, more of the problem players that's playing on Unique Stars. And they could absolutely be a threat to some of these teams.
Yeah, it was interesting. Nuts with 31 kills at the end there.
Yeah.
He was leading the leaderboard across both teams. Everybody turned up for both sides. Yeah, it was an interesting game of Counter-Strike on Inferno. So I'm hopeful to see them doing more things in the matches to come. You can see they were really hype, and I think they're grateful for the opportunity. And yeah, hopefully we can see them deliver more in their next matches, because I mean, how often do you get to see Israeli Counter-Strike? Not very often at all. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that for sure. For sure.
You can see how much it meant to them as well. They know they're representing an entire, a pretty big region. It's like, whenever you're the sole representative, you always feel that additional sort of sense of pride.
Yeah,
because especially for them, they made it out here, and again, if they can tape, I hope that no matter what happens, they can have a good showing, and they can at least win a match. Just get some good experiences from it. Obviously, the whole thing is a learning experience, regardless of what happens.
Pala is with Renegades on the floor.
Yeah, just standing around, doing my thing. This is where Tainted Minds were sitting. Yam! Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Congratulations on that win over Unique Stars. You've got your water now, prepared for the interview, I hope.
Yep, I am.
Good stuff. So, firstly, just tell me about that matchup in general. It must be quite difficult to prepare for a team that you have very limited knowledge on.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really underestimate anyone, right? It just goes to show yesterday, Renegades dropping the map that they really shouldn't have. But yeah, similar, these guys, not much on them that we can really prepare for, but we can't underestimate them. I mean, I'm kind of glad that Renegades did lose yesterday, because it gave us a bit of a wake-up call too for today, because coming into this, it was definitely a lot more, relaxed atmosphere. But yeah.
What's it like competing at a tournament where Renegades are also here, some ex-teammates of yours, and of course, the team with the highest placing results from your region?
It's good. I want to play them. I want to beat them. But yeah, no, I obviously still like them all. I've got a really good relationship with all of them still. But yeah, I want to play versus them and have some fun.
Exactly. And overall then, Yam, being at this minor, what's that like as an experience for you and your teammates? Of course, you have your own history in Counter-Strike, quite a story history as well at times. But being in a position like this, it's been a while since you've had something similar to it.
Yeah, I mean, I miss definitely playing at the higher level. Like, making it through to the major would be awesome. It's just, the best obviously playing on that higher level. And same for these guys. Haven't really achieved that yet, so it's really something that we're looking forward to doing. We had a really good boot camp coming into this, so hopefully we'll still show some good results and get there.
Exactly. And just overall then, what would you say about the skill level of your team and the potential that they have? I know, of course, about yourself, and I think Ofnu, he was at a tournament I was at once, maybe a year and a half ago, DreamHack Open, and you've got like a few different parts here coming together to make a whole.
I mean, we definitely have so much potential in this team. Like, honestly, like, these guys are all really sharp. It's just on the day, like, we just have to play with our heads and just play smart and just play well. That's honestly all it is. And obviously, it's much easier said than done. It's the hardest thing to do in CS, to play well as a team. But I think we can definitely do it. And yeah, we'll just see.
Up next, then, you will be going up against Tyloo, arguably one of the most competitive teams here and potentially a favourite to get one of those two qualifying spots. So if you beat them, you'd be in a great position. Just tell me, what are your thoughts about playing against them and how you think your chances are in the best of one?
Look, they're obviously a really good team. They'd still be the favourites going into this for sure, but we've had really close matches with them in the past. We should have beaten them in the past, online albeit. But we do know in the back of our heads that we can take it to them, we can win. It just comes down to what I said before, like playing well, playing smart, teams with a lot of potential. And yeah, we just have to click some heads, and I think we can do it.
Always great, Jan, when your teammates turn up at the end of the interview. But we'll leave them for now. Congratulations to you guys once more. Would you like to say anything else?
No, that's it. Just, I don't know, we're going to smash people.
Wicked. Best of luck in smashing your opponents. Up next, it's going to be these guys versus Tyloo. But first, Trace, what's going on over at the desk?
Well, Paula, you asked the hard-hitting questions, and you happen to have been sitting here a couple minutes ago, so you saw just about exactly what was going on here. One thing that we did see, though, in that matchup was a hard time there for Unique Stars to find a CT rhythm.
Jesus, Joseph and Mary. I apologize for everybody who's watched the 2 opening games of Counter-Strike this morning, because it's just been the sloppiest CS I've witnessed in a very long time, and you could see there at the end of that match the reactions from the Tainted Minds players as the game concluded. They were relieved. I had a similar sentiment when Tyloo won their game. It just felt one of those situations where they had to go through the motions. What I was expecting was both of these squads to come out today, Tyloo and Tainted Minds, and destroy and have a nice warm-up and put themselves in a good position. What they've done is, and Tainted Minds especially, give themselves approximately 20 to 30 minutes to sit there and reflect on all those issues, all those mistakes that they were making, how sloppy those mid-rounds were, every time they had number advantages, how that fell apart. Just time and time again, poor decision-making from these guys. They won the game. Sure, they're moving forward to the upper bracket final now and a chance to move to the playoffs. But if you reflect on that match, if you go back and you watch that demo, you're only going to be critiquing yourself. You're not going to be looking at many positives.
Absolutely. Like, that was just ugly Counter-Strike, especially the first half. But let's be honest, we're trying to be a little positive here.
Are we? Yeah. I'm on a negative train right now.
I'm going to be positive today. The positives would be that Unique Stars actually got it 13 rounds. I really didn't expect that. But then again, there's a caveat that Tainted Minds kind of really dropped the ball in the first half.
Nerds was fragging.
31 frags. In-game leader as well.
That's a good sign.
114 ADR.
That's all the numbers. All the numbers.
And also the stand really didn't crap the bed. He actually had some few numbers here and there as well. Yeah.
I don't want to detract too much from them doing well. I just want to make sure that I give Tainted Minds a similar critique as to what I gave to Tyloo, because I was quite harsh on Tyloo earlier, and I was sitting next to them while they were watching that game, and you could see them having a bit of a chuckle at the mistakes going on, and I'm sitting there thinking, boys, you just did the same thing.
Same thing. Right now, Tainted Minds, not to be confused with the Renegades. We did hear just a little bit of a...
Same region, different team.
Yeah. And once upon a time, that Yam guy played against Titan. That was a long time ago. No one ever talks about that or remembers that. Now, we can move forward and talk a little bit more about the Unique Stars. We could talk perhaps some silver linings. I know it's not really the thing that you like, Chad. It's not really positive Patrick whenever you're around.
I can give you those silver linings.
Okay, let's hear it.
Their decision-making in situations which required brains was 100 times better than Tainted Minds. The way that they played off the fact they only had certain saved weaponry was much better than of Tainted Minds. The way that they played their when the bomb was down or post-plant situations, I think was smarter. I think they were playing retakes together. I think their decision-making was better.
Which is so strange, right? And also scenarios where they were like in a 2v5 or like a 2v4. The last round, for example, 2v5 or 2v4.
To a 1v1.
It should never be happening. It should never be happening. And yet Tainted Minds allowing them. But yeah, credit where it's due. These guys played very well. I really kind of felt bad for the CT side. It's more than rather having really bad CT sides, like they never really had the opportunity to start building an economy. They kept getting reset time and time again. Credit to Tainted Minds for that. But the last few rounds from them on the CT side was pretty decent stuff coming out from them, right? And then T side, a lot of composure, like you mentioned, great post-plant work. And I think that also comes from the fact that these guys actually scrim and practice a lot against EU teams, Tier 2 EU teams.
Yeah,
as well.
less of the potato brain action, Trace.
Less of potato brain action, unless, of course, you're a spud like Sponge himself, who is no stranger to this next piece. It's bad decisions with Chad.
Yeah, we just kind of alluded to what I was talking about, and I'm really good at making bad decisions, but I have coined this piece potato brains. Now, this is early on, and this thought could have just been a sloppy play coming out, but this was chasing from the Tainted Minds guys. Now, there was only a scout and an MP7 being saved, and they had 4 AK-47s, and they're chasing a guy with an MP7 on a 4-spy round. Even if he saved that gun, he would have purely taken it through to the next round and is nowhere as potent or powerful as an AK-47. He is building off of these kills, right? A huge bank. He got 2 kills with the MP7, so there's 1,200. He got a kill with the USP, there's another 300. At the end, he gets a kill with the AK-47, there's another 300.
And he takes the AK-47.
And he takes the AK. They didn't need to chase him. Just let him keep it. It doesn't matter.
They should have just controlled their aggression almost, I think, is really what should have happened right
And then this kind of moves in to the next point of what I was saying, the decision-making was better from the Unique Stars players.
Absolutely. Too many mistakes being made by Tainted Minds there. And like we were kind of talking about aggression, right?
Sure.
Like if you look at Asian teams, there's a lot of aggression taking place all the time. The next clip is going to be something called controlled aggression, basically, where we talk about how I think it was one of the later gun rounds where they got the gun rounds and they wait for a very aggro play. They just pushed in towards mid. I was going to be showing it right now. There we go. just right off the bat, fast mid. Again, Tainted Minds didn't have any play watching mid. That's a huge problem right there. They get the first 2 kills. They drop the bomb at mid. Now, what do they do right now? Most Asian teams would be like, all right, we got the bomb. Let's sit on the C4, be open from a gazillion angles, and get taken down. So Ins gets a frag. And they're like, all right, guys, we got the bomb down. We have a man advantage. Screw it. Let them have. They have to recover the bomb anyway. They fall all the way back to the bomb side. So 2 in B, 2 in A.
Perfect.
They take a long time to get the bomb. There's 25 seconds remaining on the clock. They have to rush into the B bomb side. Perfect flashbang. Boom. Thank you, man.
That is the decision-making that we were talking about being better, though. That's just one example of Unique Stars actually making the right call. There was a period of time where they're in limbo, and I was like, are they going to move away from the bomb, or are they going to hang out? But then when they moved back, it was perfect. And like you said, that kind of situation, it is, you can stack 2 over towards the A side, 2 over towards the B side, and it is going to be a 2v3 duel in any given time. Yeah. But on the CT side with the smaller choke points, you're happy with that. You're happy with taking that exchange. It's not like it's a 2v5. Yeah. And that there, you just set up as a team, you have a crossfire, and you trade it efficiently and always win the round.
We could talk about winning the round. We could talk about trading efficiently, but one thing we have to trade in now is the stat line, because honestly, that was bad English, bad England. And more importantly, the head-to-head is up there. Yam and Nerds. And, well, let's start with Nerds, because we did hear from Yam, so let's hear what we have to say about
We had a guy tweeted us with some stats. I saw that you retweeted it.
He's actually, like, won almost every LAN event in Israel for a long time. But that's the thing. It's in Israel, right? You don't have much competition. But what impressed me was the fact that, I didn't know about this, they actually playing ESK Advanced League in EU, which is a higher level of competition than almost most regions in Asia, to be honest. So they are actually playing against a pretty decent opposition. And Nerds, this guy's in-game leading. He's also the entry fragger. And he dropped a 30 bomb against Tainted Minds.
I think the fact that they pushed them to such an extreme with a stand-in shows that, hey, maybe if they had their full roster here, we could have started the day with yet another upset.
Could have definitely happened, because look at it. Inferno is a very, it's a very team-based, very cerebral map, so to speak. And we saw the CD side suffer a lot. Now, I don't know how much we can put it on the stand-in scenario, but I'm sure it does have a factor to play in this.
I definitely think it can, but they should be confident. They should be happy with their performance. I think we need to look at the likes of Tyloo and Tainted Minds going forward. If they're going to continue to make the same level of mistakes, the next matchup is going to be very, very messy. If one team is going to tighten up their gameplay, it could be a quick game. Or if both of them play the brand of CS and give each other respect like we should, we might get a good game of CS, Trace.
That'd be so nice. We might get a good game. Or we might get bonus rounds. You never really know. Life is like a box of chocolates, a wise man once said. And like that box of chocolates is exactly how our brackets are unfolding, which we can take a look at now as we've really started to dive into Group B here on this fine, fine English day. Tyloo 5 power kick us off, where in which Tyloo did topple 5 power. I would say it was like the best Counter-Strike game we ever saw. It wasn't necessarily the worst. But either way, we did just witness Tainted Minds taking on Unique Stars, which now tees us up for Tyloo and Tainted Minds, where in which the winner will qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah,
so,
I mean the brackets are kind of expected. The results not so much, to be honest, right? Like the exact scoreline. But yeah, Tainted Minds versus Tyloo. We expected this particular matchup. It should be a good matchup on paper, but from what we've seen so far today, Trace, I am worried for my sanity.
I would probably be worried as well. I would also be worried if I didn't go over to FACEITMajor.com and /giveaway and try to win 2 milli FACEIT points. There's a lot of FACEIT points coming out of the camp this week, and if you're not a part of that, well, you're more than likely going to miss out on the prize. I believe, Chad, do you have anything you can add to that?
I like points, and with those points, you can buy things. I'm pretty sure you can buy skins and other fun stuff at the FACEIT store.
You can even change your name on FACEIT.
Mine's JNups.
That's not bad. JNups, which not to be confused for Spud, which is not sponge spelled backwards. Anyway, we're going to be going to a quick break. We come back, we're going to be jumping into the next game. It's going to be Tyloo. It's going to be Tainted Mind. It's going to be an upper bracket best of 1 here. So make sure that you guys don't go anywhere. We got some more Counter-Strike for you coming this way.